ASUS just dropped a brutal tease for what might be the most overbuilt GPU of the year, the ROG Matrix RTX 5090, and it's coming August 19th. Meanwhile, Sparkle's back with a third ARC variant. AMD slashed prices on their best gaming CPUs, and it's one that I am actually using right now. And the 5060 Ti is already under MSRP. I'll give you a hint why, and it starts with an 8. Yeston teamed up with Gravastar for a card that looks like it crawled out of a cyberpunk speaker grill. And in possibly the least surprising news ever, gamers are hoarding games that they'll never play. Imagine that. You know the drill. Let's get into it. All right, gamers are spending billions on games that they'll never launch. And is anyone really surprised? Steam's got a digital graveyard, and we're all guilty. Check this out. Let's be real. We've all bought a game or 2 or 10 or 20 on the Steam summer sale thinking that we'd play it someday. Spoiler alert, we didn't. This article came out, and I'm not sure that it needed to be an article, but we're gonna dig into it real quick to kick off the show just for fun. Steam users buy games they're never going to play, says analyst. Shocking. There's no doubt that even with all of Epic's efforts over the last few years, Steam remains by far the biggest online gaming store on PC. Now you can tell by the fact that Steam is taking, oh, check this out. Valve takes 30% of everyone's revenue. Epic takes 12. How can Valve get away with this, right? It comes down to gamers that don't play games, essentially. Valve cracked the problem that Netflix was struggling with. How do you sell to people who have so much entertainment at their fingertips and they don't have enough hours in the day to play and watch it all? Valve basically added infinite hours to a gamer's day. It's a theoretical future day where gamers might someday spend hours playing your game, but let's be honest, they won't. And these guys actually used an example from someone on their staff, so I'm curious where you stack up here, because someone on the staff at WCCF Tech owns 6,062 games. All right, those are all on Steam, but only launched around 20% of them. So you could check it out on his Steam DB. Needless to say, his backlog is the stuff of freaking legends. Sure, he didn't buy all the games. Some were provided for reviews, but that's only a minor percentage. For the most part, he bought all those bad boys, and he's playing 20% of them. At this point, Steam isn't really a game library. It's more of like a digital museum of our poor time management. So I'm curious. I need to know from you guys, how many untouched games do you have in your Steam library? Feel free to flex it like a badge of honor. You've earned it.
Guys, I have a confession to make. My wife, she does all of the accounting, bookkeeping, all that good stuff for my companies, and this is her current setup right now. Check out the desk, the chair. The desk we found at a yard sale next to a box of VHS tapes. The chair, I'm pretty sure Amazon paid us to take this from them. Now, I've got to do something about this because she has no sit-stand desk. The cable management sucks back here. It's just not a pleasant experience for someone that's working all day to experience. Just imagine you're getting back pain from a chair that makes it feel like you've been wrestling boulders for 8 hours straight. This is not good. Even Banjo and Pixel, they are just amazed that she has survived this long with such a bad setup. Are you mad that I woke you up? I'm sorry. So when Autonomous hit me up and said, hey, let's fix her setup, I said, finally, we're not animals anymore. Now I'm gonna get this set up for mom before she gets back with the kids, maybe do a little surprise, show her the new setup. Come with me as I make this happen. Okay, so first I picked out the titanium white SmartDesk 5 Pro, which is seriously clean. It's got an awesome aesthetic, super smooth height presets. It's got a whisper quiet motor and an actual spot for cable routing so it doesn't look like a LAN party exploded underneath her desk. Then we grabbed the ErgoChair Pro in cool gray, upgraded with foam. This thing supports your back like it owes you money. Adjustable everything, and it actually looks pretty good in the room. It's wild what a real desk and chair can do. She sat down in this thing, and within 3 minutes she reorganized our entire budget and asked if we could cut back spending on, quote, random car upgrades. So yep, she's back. This setup legitimately turned our clutter corner into something that you'd see on Pinterest. She's been way more productive, way more comfortable, and I think she secretly likes it more than the living room now. The SmartDesk 5 Pro is built like a tank but looks clean and modern, and the ErgoChair's foam seat is way better than those cheap memory foam knockoffs. And the cable mess, it's gone, buried, erased from history. So if your setup looks like hers used to, or if you just want to upgrade your spine's quality of life, go hit up Autonomous and use code SETUPZACH for 5% off everything on their site, or just click the link in the description. Treat yourself or your partner or your spine. Everybody wins.
AMD just dropped their flagship 9950X 3D to a devilish $666. All X3D chips are now below MSRP, so what does it all mean? Let's find out. All right, so fun fact, this is actually the chip that I'm using in my system, the 9950X 3D. I've loved it so far. It's been great for me. This is my first time as an AMD user in like the history of my life, so this is kind of cool for me. I think it's a great processor, and now you can get it for a screaming good deal. This is part of the Amazon Prime deals. The Ryzen 9 9950X 3D drops to $666, but that's not it. You have all 9,000 X3D SKUs are now below MSRP. So some interesting pricing if you're looking at upgrading your CPU and you're a big AMD fan. This is great news. This year's Prime days on Amazon have been somewhat underwhelming, which it seems like maybe for the past few years, if not more. Prime deals, I don't pay attention as much as I used to them. Maybe you do, but it's like an excuse to buy stuff, and the deals aren't like that screaming, at least in my estimation. Maybe you found something I haven't. However, the situation looks better for CPUs, especially the Ryzen 9000 series. All three released X3D models are now available below MSRP on Amazon. As expected, the Ryzen 9 9800X 3D, the most commonly purchased model because it's a freaking awesome gaming CPU. It's fantastic. It's not discounted by much, so you just get $9 off on that, which barely covers shipping, but 12 core, 16 core versions, now $18 and $33 cheaper respectively. So check this out. Ryzen 9000 deals, 9950X 3D, $666. Devilish indeed. In fact, I'm going to redo my build a little bit with the 9950X 3D. I'm going to tell you at the end of this what I've got planned for it, give you a little sneak peek. But it's not just the X3D SKUs. You've got the non-X3D SKUs also seeing price cuts with a high $232 difference between the 16 core and non-X3D models. So 9950X now listed $434. The 8-core Ryzen 9700X is priced at $289. For users not focused solely on gaming, opting for the non-X3D variants can lead to significant savings indeed. Now, if you're on the fence, or if you were on the fence, this might be your shut up and buy it moment.
Shut up and take my money.
I don't want to make decisions for you, but some pretty good pricing going on right now. $666, that's off of a $699 MSRP on the 9950X 3D. So is this just like a play by AMD to get more adoption, to get more of these processors out there? Or maybe this also raises the question, is AMD struggling to convince mainstream gamers that, you know, the 3D cache is worth the premium? I don't think so. I think it's just Prime Day deals, baby. By the way, I mentioned I have a 9950X 3D. This is what I'm planning. So a Haven has a Doom case that they released with like a crazy skull on it. That comes out soon. Getting that. I also ordered, this was a reckless decision, I bought the Doom graphics card, the ASUS Doom graphics card, the 5080. So that's supposed to ship the end of this month. I ordered it back in like freaking March, I want to say. So hopefully that shows up. But I do have a Doom build coming, and I'm going to keep the 9950X 3D in it. So hellish deals on a processor. I've got a hellish PC build coming that will be perfect for it. I can't wait. All right, the 5060 Ti 8GB is already going for less than MSRP. Is NVIDIA adjusting, or gamers just not biting on this whole 8GB deal? The GeForce RTX 5060 Ti 8GB is already available below MSRP. Wow.
Oh my God! Wow!
$20 off. It ain't much, but hey, it's happening. I am guessing that not a lot of people want this card. In fact, I know Gamers Nexus did an analysis on pricing and availability on various GPUs, and surprise, surprise. The 8GB models are plentiful, readily available. It's almost like people aren't really into them. Imagine that. Not one, but three retailers have already lowered the price of NVIDIA's latest GPU. The RTX 5060 Ti 8GB, which launched before Computex, didn't get much attention due to NVIDIA's quote-unquote strategy, the strategy of not sending them out for reviews. Now, the launch on this was just a few weeks ago, so this is already pretty early price dip. So some interesting stuff there. This is really a rare sight. When have we seen NVIDIA dropping below MSRP almost immediately? This could be overstock, weak demand, or maybe NVIDIA trying to save face after getting roasted for 8GB cards again, or it could be all of the above. This card, at the end of the day, I mean, it's kind of stuck in no man's land. It's not cheap enough. It's not strong enough. I think it makes sense why this is happening. If for whatever reason you are interested in this card, I don't know if $20 is going to make that big of a difference to where you're like, oh, now this makes a lot of sense for me. I think at its core, it's just a product that doesn't have a huge amount amount of demand, especially on the gaming side. That said, the RTX 5060 Ti still features 3,840 CUDA cores and offers better performance than its predecessor. Ultimately, performance depends on resolution, settings, and the use of upscaling. The 8 GB version launched at $379, while the 16 launched at $429. Let's see what the comments are saying. I bet everyone's really excited about this and ready to pull the trigger. The very first comment. Now, if this was 6 GB, I would buy it. 8 GB seems like too much. Oh boy. Sarcasm comment award goes to this guy. Fantastic. RTX Buyer's Remorse Edition. Tell us how you really feel. Now, this I actually agree with. So it comes down to pricing with a lot of these cards, right? Everyone has said this on every channel. There's no bad graphics card, just bad pricing, right? That's fairly common in the space. This card should be on sale at $250, and that's Singapore dollar. He had us in the first half. Make it $200, then we talk. That leads to a bigger question. What would this card have to be priced at for you to be somewhat interested in it? I know a lot of you guys run multiple systems. You've got, like, you know, little home servers or little workstations and stuff. Maybe this card makes sense for something like that that's not like your main gaming rig. What price for this card even makes sense? Let me know in the comments down below. And while you're there, why not hit like and subscribe? It helps the channel grow. If you like videos like this, I'd love to see you next time. All right, guys, Sparkle drops a third ARC B580 Titan colorway. It's got the new look, same fight for relevance in a very crowded GPU space. Let's take a look. Sparkle's gonna launch the ARC B580 Titan Knox Edition, third color option. Now, they've made some interesting choices with the color options. In fact, this doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me why they've done this the way they have. I'm gonna explain a little bit more in a second here. The company is gonna launch the Titan with a third color option, nearly an all black design. Now, this looks nice. Sparkle has released the Titan series, the flagship lineup, and it's been available, and this is kind of where I don't understand what the thought process was behind this. They started with this blue card. I got one of them when they launched and did a build with it. Great card. I actually really liked it. I thought it was awesome. For budget builds and things like that, I think this is fantastic. They went with blue and white on launch. No black until now. Usually isn't white like that's like the afterthought for a lot of these companies, which is frustrating in its own right. But usually don't you start with a black card? Isn't that kind of where you start? Not with a blue that matches with literally nothing. Both models are identical in terms of specifications, with a GPU clock of up to 2,740 megahertz and board power rating of 200 watts. Triple fan designs, single 8-pin power connector, and check it out. Brand new black card from Sparkle coming out on the old ARC B580. That's kind of fun. It seems that all white and original blue variants aren't enough for customers. Gee, you don't say. It's almost like most people buy black colorway graphics cards. Sparkle learned something today. Those who prefer a stealthier look with a black shroud will soon have that option. The company's preparing to launch the B580 Titan Knox Edition, which features the same clocks and specs. So, new colorway hasn't been officially announced yet, but you're seeing some leaks and stuff here first. In terms of pricing, it'll probably be the same as the original model, $319. Boy, I wish they could come down on the pricing a little bit on those B580 cards to be a little bit more competitive. Everyone that has one that I've heard that has an ARC card, especially the B580, seems to really enjoy it. So pricing came in line. That would help a lot to get more of those Intel cards in the market, which you love to see some competition. That's good for everybody, right? ASUS just teased a monster of a graphics card, the ROG Matrix RTX 5090, and it's dropping August 19th. Now, this could be the flagship to rule them all. Who's gonna buy this? I don't know, but let's take a look. ASUS teases special GeForce RTX 5090 graphics card launching August 19th. ROG Matrix 5090 incoming, question mark? ASUS has a celebration coming up. This is the 30th anniversary of releasing their very first graphics card. The company launched a special website that you guys can go to where they've got rules and conditions listed along with a teaser for a possible new card. So they're doing a bunch of giveaways and things like that. If you're interested, I recommend you check that out for sure. As it turns out, we were right. The new card, which is only shown as a silhouette, is indeed a previously unseen model. Now, it doesn't look like an Astral card necessarily. ASUS states that this special graphics card will be included in the prizes and will serve as the top prize. The company confirms that the top secret card is based on the RTX 50 series and will be released on August 19th. This aligns with the company's plan to begin public voting for submissions from participants in the promotion. So, top secret grand prize, a new 50 series graphics card. It'll also be included as a giveaway. Of course, everything here is speculation. This is all just rumors, but some indications on what to expect. And the reason that they're drawing the conclusion that this might be the 5090 isn't included in any of the other prizes on there. Also, the confirmation comes from the bundled power supply. It's bundled with Thor 1200 watt power supply, which I doubt is going to come with a 5050. Could be wrong at this point. Who knows? It's the Wild West out there. In its official blog, ASUS mentions that enthusiasts who follow the company's history in GPU design should remember the RTX 4090 ROG Matrix Platinum. This isn't even an old card. The Matrix family isn't always released, but since NVIDIA is not planning an RTX 5090 Super, if there's a time to launch one, it's probably now. So this is the Matrix 5090, and they had a water-cooled AIO version of the card as well, but based on the silhouette, that doesn't seem to be the case. More than likely, it's going to be an ROG Matrix 5090 card. So, I mean, just to boil it down for you, ASUS is going full hold my beer mode. The Matrix line is where they show off, so should be kind of interesting. If the Founders Edition is a sports car, then this is like a track-tuned super car to some extent. And I would imagine if they do end up releasing this Matrix card, I would expect a limited drop, crazy cooling, and price tags that's just going to hurt your soul. This is the kind of card that people buy before they buy the rest of their system. The rest of it just has to live up to it. So it's probably going to come with some extreme factory overclock, and it's going to be priced to match. Any guess on, I don't even want to know. What do you think they're going to price the 5090 Matrix card at? I'm scared. Yeston and Gravastar teamed up for a GPU inspired by, remember those EVGA Kingpin cards? Well, it's coming. It's bold, it's weird, and just might be genius. Let's take a peek at this. That's right, Yeston and Gravastar. Now, I use a Gravastar keyboard at the Meta PC's office every single day. I actually really like their keyboards. I'm a big fan of like the weird space age look. It's not for everybody, but I like stuff like that looks a little bit crazy. Apparently, the collaboration of a lifetime is about to be happening because Gravastar and Yeston collaborating on a new graphics card design that is inspired by the EVGA Kingpin GPU. Now you can see this EVGA Kingpin GPU that was a card of years past of a company that is no longer in the old GPU biz, but nonetheless was a very cool design. This makes a lot of sense considering if you look at Gravastar's keyboard designs, it really fits into that original Kingpin EVGA collaboration, right? So I could see how this could be a really cool GPU. And they released a little teaser that just shows some of the shapes. It really fits their kind of keyboard layout. You can see on the front there, the keyboard. Yeston has shared a teaser for an upcoming graphics card developed in collaboration with gaming peripheral maker Gravastar. While the GPU model remains unconfirmed, Gravastar revealed through hashtags that it's indeed a GPU project. Now, Gravastar, known for that sci-fi themed hardware, especially keyboards and speakers with exposed frames, sharp contours, and of course, plenty of RGB. This new product combines that hardcore tech style with Yeston's recognizable anime aesthetic. Now, Yeston, well known for the Sakura anime GPUs, that type of thing. So it's really like just me seeing these two brands come together, and I don't know what this card is going to look like yet. We're going to find out in a couple days here, if not now by the time this video's out. Whoa, wait a second, little costume change here. Something just happened. This card was actually already announced and just released, so I had to update the video. But I made a prediction that was correct in my previous video. I'm like the Nostradamus of graphics cards. Check this out. Yep, that's right. Yeston just launched the Radeon RX 9070 XT, the Mercury Nova, and it looks kind of what we thought it would look like. I mean, based on Gravastar's influence in this one, it looks a lot like their keyboard designs. This is actually a really cool and unique card. And the whole idea with this is they wanted to make a card that kind of harkened back to the EVGA Kingpin design that they used on those cards. So I think this is actually a really good way to go about it. Looks really clean and unique. Love it. Yeston is moving away from sugar-coated designs. Their new card, developed in partnership with Gravastar, is a bold release unlike anything we've seen from this brand. They're going to call it Mercury Nova, of all things. Pretty interesting name. It offers everything an enthusiast would expect from a high-end RX 9070 XT card. 3-slot card, 3 fans, sci-fi inspired open shroud, as you can see here, which is very cool. I actually really like this a lot. One of the most surprising details is a white PCB with 3 8-pin power connectors. White PCBs are rare, especially on cards with a black appearance, although in this case, it's actually a high gloss black paint. So a lot of little details going into this card, which make it even more unique. Looks a lot lot like the EVGA Kingpin 1080 series, which you can see here. They definitely borrowed a lot of influence from that card, but at the same time kind of morphed it and made it their own unique design that really resembles those Gravastar keyboards, like the one that I use at the office every single day at Meta PCs. The card features 3 93mm fans and a vapor chamber beneath the heatsink. It comes factory overclocked as well, 3060 megahertz boost and then 2520 on the base. Selectable through OC BIOS setting. From the available details, it appears to use the same PCB as the 9070 XT Sakura with matching clock speed, suggesting this is primarily a shroud redesign. But even so, my gosh, what a great job they did on the shroud redesign. That's actually really sick. Love the crossovers and the fans and things like that. That's kind of fun. So when's this thing coming out? Well, Yeston has not provided a release date. The card is currently listed at about 16% above official AMD MSRP, which sounds about right for an AIB card that's got some customization to it, especially unique shroud. There's also a promotion offering customers a coupon for leaving a review, with the order period running from today until July 31st, suggesting this may be the pre-order window before shipments begin. Now, I'm not seeing anything on here about release in the US, so we'll kind of have to see what happens there. I would imagine it'll probably start in China first. Who knows? All that I know is when I originally recorded this video, I said, hey, wouldn't it be cool if it was a 9070 XT? And guess what? It is, which honestly I think is a really good move. That's the card that you probably want to do a custom design with. Isn't it funny that we now have an EVGA Kingpin card on a Radeon GPU? What a twist. Would you have believed me if I told you this 5 years ago? Probably not. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. We've also launched the memberships here on the channel with exclusive behind the scenes footage of daily life at Meta PCs and stuff that I'm working on here. I just finished up a cool desk project for my wife's setup here at home, and I'm going to be showing that off in an upcoming video as well. So like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Yeah? Huh?